In the news headline, Nigerian Army arrests fake soldiers and 12 oil theft in Rivers State. House of Representatives urge NUC to suspend increment of university's tuition fees. Diphtheria kills 30 and hospitalized 42 children in Yobe State. From the international scene, Libya court jails 37 people for human trafficking. Good evening, listeners. Today is Tuesday, 23rd Zulhijjah 1444 after Hijrah of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, which is 11th July 2023. I am Salma Adam Iko with the news. President Bola Tinubu has written to Senate requesting it to confirm the appointment of new service chiefs. Senate President Godswill Akpabio read the letter during plenary today. The service chiefs to be screened for confirmation are Major General Christopher Musa as Chief of Defense Staff and Major General Taurid Lagbaja as Chief of Army Staff. Others are Rear Admiral Emmanuel Ogolla as Chief of Naval Staff and Air Vice Marshal Hassan Abubakar as Chief of Air Staff. They were all appointed on 19th June 2023. The Senate President, however, referred the confirmation request to the Committee of the Whole on the ground that the Senate has yet to constitute a special and standing committees. The House of Representatives has urged the National University Commission (NUC) to suspend the implementation of an increase in tuition fees of universities. This was contained in a motion by Aliyu Sani Madaki, who noted that the universities that hike their fees included Bayero University Kano, University of Nigeria Nsukka, University of Uyo, University of Maiduguri, Michael Okfara University of Agriculture, Umudike, and Federal University Dutse, among others. Lawmakers in the Green Chamber were concerned that the hike in fees by the universities were happening against the worsening poverty level in the country, inflation, high rate of unemployment, and recent fuel price hike. They feared that the increase will cause disruptions for a number of students who could not afford the fees, and that will affect many of them will be forced to defer their studies. Others could drop out entirely. The House also asked the federal government to reverse the recent hike of school fees in Unity secondary schools. Governors elected on the platform of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) are holding their maiden meeting as a forum at the Akwa Ibom State Governors Lodge in Abuja. Some of the governors who have already arrived at the venue of the meeting are Umo Eno of Akwa Ibom, Dauda Lawal Dare of Zamfara, Ahmadu Pintiri of Adamawa, Sheyi Mekinde of Oyo, and Basi Otu of Cross River. According to the Director General of PDP Governors Forum, the governors are expected to discuss the state of the nation, especially recent development in the country politically, socially, and economically. The meeting will also discuss the state of forum, the party PDP, and the role of the PDP governors in stabilizing the party. National Chairman of All Progressives Congress (APC), Abdullahi Adamu, has disclosed that the alien Ondo State Governor Rotimi Akeredolu is incapacitated. Adamu stated this at a meeting between the national leadership of the party and the APC State Chairman. Addressing the APC State Chairman, Adamu revealed that the governor was incapacitated and currently hospitalized overseas. The national chairman also said President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is consulting extensively before drawing up his ministerial list. Adamu's revelation comes hours after Akeredolu, who is also the chairman of Southwest Governors Forum, wrote to the State House of Assembly to extend his medical leave indefinitely. Plateau State Governor Caleb Mutfwang has disclosed that his administration inherited a debt burden of 307 billion naira from his predecessor, Simon Lalong. Mutfwang said this today after receiving the report of the committees on the transition and strategic development framework for the state. The two committees that examined the issues were led by Professor Genger Lombin. Mutfwang, however, expressed his determination to lead the state to greater development in face of its huge debt profile, as well as readiness to tackle the security challenges in the state. The governor, after receiving the report, promised to diligently examine the document presented to him, adding that further investigation will be launched and appropriate action will be taken. Earlier, Lombin explained that some operational challenges restricted the two committees, which had appointees of the past administration as members from jointly present in their report. Today is 11th July and is World Population Day, commemorated annually to raise awareness and educate individuals about the challenges and issues associated with global population growth. Concerning this, here is a report. World Population Day is a day observed annually on July 11 to raise awareness and educate individuals about the challenges and issues associated with global population growth. The United Nations Development Programme Governing Council established the World Population Day in 1989 and is inspired by the Day of 5 billion observed on July 11, 1987. According to United Nations, the theme for this year's World Population Day is Unleashing the Power of Gender Equality, uplifting the voices of women and girls to unlock world infinite possibilities. The Director National Population Commission Jigawa State, Alhaji Ibrahim Iro, stated some of the impact of this day.
It is the United Nations that has set aside a day to commemorate this day for the World Population Day. That is on the 11th of this month. Each year, here we tend to celebrate this day with regard to world population activities. And that's the essence of making this day to mark it.
He also outlined some major role of the National Population Commission.
The federal government has mandated National Population Commission to carry out the investigation of the whole country when it comes to census activities. That is one of the major activities of the National Population Commission is to. Secondly, besides census, there is birth and death registration activities. Equally, that one is also the responsibilities of National Population Commission. If you want to go for abroad, you have to make a visa. If you don't have National Population attestation or birth certificate, they cannot give you a visa.
The question is, what is the purpose of National Census Exercise 2023?
The preparation is continuous. And we have EAD, that is enumeration area application, which is putting the country into a smaller unit, whereby you can give 2 or 3 persons, two persons within 3 days or 5 days to count the person in that particular area. We have done that, and also we have done first, second, and third test preparation of the census to come.
As of this year, 2023, China is the most populous country with a population of 1.4 billion people, followed by India, United States, Indonesia, and Pakistan, while Nigeria is the 6th most populous country in the world with a population of over 200 million. Population is a rising global concern, and it is important to control population as the rise affects economic development, employment, and income distribution, as well as efforts to make sure there is universal access to education, healthcare, housing, food, sanitation, drinking water, and energy. Gender equality can't be left behind either. Victims of last year's flood disaster in Jigawa State have accused members of State Flood Resettlement Committee of negligence in providing them with adequate shelter, food, and water as promised, despite ranking in 1.7 billion naira during the launch of Flood Appeal Fund meant to alleviate their plight. Spokesperson for the victims, Abdullahi Usman Karnaya, disclosed this in Dutse, said they only heard about disbursement of the funds from radio without saying anything. Recall that Karnaya town was the first community settlement that was last year submerged by flood among 16 local councils in Jigawa State. Report indicated that no fewer than 47,450 people were displaced, while 98 lives were lost to flood last year. He called on both state and federal government, philanthropists, as well as non-governmental organizations to come to the aid of Jigawa flood victims as the situation was very alarming. The news is coming to you from studio of Sawaba Radio. More of the news after the short break. Do see.
This is News on the Hour. Sawaba Radio FM. Stay tuned.
Welcome back. This is 7 News at 7 coming to you from studio of Sawaba Radio 104.9 at Asia. You can also watch us live on our Facebook page at Sawaba Radio 104.9 at Asia and all our social media platforms for more of the news update. And now the news continues. The 6th Division of the Nigerian Army in Port Harcourt said its men arrested one Desmond Oki for impersonation, while 12 others were nabbed for their alleged involvement in illegal oil bunkering. The army said the 12 suspects were arrested by the troops of the division while siphoning crude oil from the Rumoke Okporowa pipeline near Okoba community in Ahoda East local government area of Rivers State. The garrison commander, 6th Division, Nigerian Army headquarters in Port Harcourt, Brigadier General A.D. Pyong, disclosed this while parading the suspect before newsmen yesterday. Pyong, who is also the commander of Sector 3, Operation Delta SEP Military Joint Task Force, said the suspect will be handed over to the appropriate agency for prosecution. Earlier, the spokesperson for the division, Lieutenant Colonel Kedichi Ihua, said the fake soldiers is from Okija in Anambra State, saying it was the second he was being nabbed for the same crime. Suspected diphtheria outbreak has killed at least 30 children and left 42 at the isolation center of the specialist hospital in Fatiskum local government area of Yobe State. Tandari, Misaurot, Sabuwar Secretaria, Adikime, Ramun Kasaf, Boria, Uganda, and Texaco quarters are the most affected areas as confirmed by newsmen. A source at the isolation center of the specialist hospital in Fatiskum revealed that they are faced with inadequate drugs to contain the situation. The source said so far about 46 cases have been admitted with more than 5 casualties. News Agency of Nigeria learned that more than 20 children have died at home, while 4 casualties were recorded at the hospital. When contacted, Fatiskum Zonal Immunization Officer Malam Buba denied the casualties figures, but admitted that no fewer than 42 children were hospitalized. Governor Abba Yusuf of Kano State has called for more tertiary education trust fund intervention project at the Yusuf Mai Tamasile University and the Kano University of Science and Technology, Wudil. Yusuf made the call in Abuja during a courtesy visit to the Executive Secretary of TED Fund, Soni Ekno. He stressed the need for a robust collaboration between the Kano government and the fund to ensure improved education delivery. He commended TED Fund for its various infrastructure projects in tertiary institutions across the country. The governor specifically called for TED Fund support in the 2 universities in the areas of provision of more facilities, training of staffs, as well as flood control in Kano University of Science and Technology, Wudil. Meanwhile, the TED Fund Executive Secretary Soni Ekno, who congratulated Governor Yusuf on his victory in the March 2023 gubernatorial election, said the fund is ready to partner with the government to improve the foundations of tertiary education institutions in the state. Governor Babagana Zulum of Borno State has approved the release of 62 million naira as scholarship for indigent students of Borno in law schools and those studying immersion courses in French language. The Executive Secretary of the State Scholarship Board, Bala Isa, made this known today in Maiduguri. Mr. Isa said the amount also covered the procurement of a vehicle and a secretariat for the National Union of Borno State Students. He explained that the beneficiaries of the law scholarship were 19 students drawn from the 6th law school campus in Nigeria, while the French language beneficiaries were 5 students in Benin Republic and other foreign students. In response, the national president of NIBOS, Abubakar Wajuro, lauded the support to students by Borno government and urged for sustenance. Now to international scene. A Libyan court has jailed 37 people convicted by human trafficking following the death of 11 migrants who drowned in the Mediterranean Sea. 5 members of the criminal gang were sentenced to life in prison. Others received between 1 and 15 years. All had been involved in organizing a dilapidated boat that was supposed to take the migrants to Italy. Rights group says many migrants experience horrific treatment there both at the hand of smuggling gangs and inside the state-run detention centers. Libya has been plagued by conflict and chaos since the colonel Muammar Gaddafi was toppled in 2011. And now to today in history.
On this day in the year 1984, Britain ordered seatbelts to become mandatory in cars. Likewise, on this day in the year 1991, a Canadian chartered DC-8 plane carrying Muslim pilgrims crashed at Jeddah, Saudi Arabia International Airport, killed all 261 people on board. Similarly, on this day in the year 2006, the Mumbai bomb attacks killed 209 people. Likewise, on this day in the year 2010, in southern region of Nigeria, 4 journalists were kidnapped by gunmen. The kidnappers made a ransom demand of $1.67 million, but the journalists were later released on July 18th with no ransom paid. Khadija Nurlamin Elleman, Sawaba Radio.
Thank you, Khadija Elleman. Kenya's Ministry of Foreign Affairs has said that Iranian President Ibrahim Raisi's visit had been pushed to Wednesday to allow the finalization of some unnamed bilateral agreement. President Raisi was scheduled to arrive in Kenya today morning, the first stop of an African tour that was supposed to also take him to Uganda and Zimbabwe. It said after his arrival, Mr. Raisi will hold a meeting with his host President William Ruto to review and re-energize bilateral relations between the two countries. Earlier, the Kenyan presidency had said the president's visit had been rescheduled without giving reasons. Iran's embassy in Kenya is yet to issue a statement over the postponed visits. And now to entertainment report by Amina Ibrahim Shahada.
The Hades Academy has released its nomination list for the 2023 Rookie of the Year. Since its inception in 2006, the Hades has played a prominent role in the documentation of the strides recorded in the Nigerian music industry through its award, which has now become the biggest prize in Nigerian music. And today, the Hades Academy released the nomination list for the 2023 Rookie of the Year. The list features fast-riding rapper Odumodu, who has had an impressive 2023. Other artists on the list include Bloody Civilian, who featured in the Black Panther Wakanda Forever, then Marvin's Record Past Rising Star, Bayani, then singer and TikTok sensation, Gucci. The list of the artists for the nomination include Bayani, Cade, Gucci, Bloody Civilian, let me show you how to kill him, and Odumodu Black. The 6 artists will be competing in a voting category for the Rookie of the Year who has had a successful year musically, with the absence of an album in the year under review. Also, the winner will be succeeding Faith, who won the 2022 Hades Award for Rookie of the Year at the ceremony held at the Cop Energy Performing Arts Center in Atlanta, Georgia. Still in the Nigerian music industry, the Nigerian superstar Rema has extended his record in the United Kingdom official singles chart. Since its release in February 2022, Rema's Calm Down has become one of the biggest songs in the world after impressive chart-topping performances in the North Africa, the United Kingdom, and Asia. In the latest installment of the United Kingdom official single chart, Rema's Calm Down extended its record as the longest charting Afrobeat record on the chart to 45 weeks as it drops 3 places from number 39. Baby, calm down, calm down. Yo, this your body, put in my heart for lockdown. Burna Boy's record 10th top 40 hit reaches a new peak, number 36, as it moves up to 2 places from its number 38 spot last week, while Ira Star's Rush remains at number 54 as it enters its 24th week on the chart. Davido's Unavailable drops 5 places to number 65 while entering its 11th week of the chart. Moving to America's Hollywood industry, we will take a look at a new movie titled Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 1, where a versatile actor Tom Cruise drove a motorcycle off an actual 4,000-foot Norwegian cliff and then parachuted down. The movie also included a heart-pounding and mission accomplished that takes audiences from the frozen Bering Sea to the top rope of Abu Dhabi International Airport and the narrow alleyways of Venice. And from India's Bollywood industry, Aryan Khan is all set to make his first public appearance on Karan Johar's show, along with his father, Shah Rukh Khan. Amina Ibrahim Shahada, Sawaba Radio.
Thank you, Amina Ibrahim Shahada. An entertainment report concludes the news tonight. But before I go, a recap of the major headlines. From the news, Nigerian Army arrests fake soldiers and 12 oil theft in Rivers State. House of Representatives urge NUC to suspend increment of university's tuition fees. Diphtheria kills 30 and hospitalized 42 children in Yobe State. From the foreign scene, Libya court jails 37 people for human trafficking. On behalf of the news editor Muhammad Suleiman Yobe, our online editor Umar Muhammad, I am Salma Adam Iko. Have a great night.